Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Let me confirm that. Let me confirm everything is working fine before I start. Okay, we are live already. Please let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Last week we had people commented that the audio was not loud enough, so we made sure we just we try to work on it to make it better. So let me know if you can hear me clearly. You can drop it in the comments so that I'm sure that we are on the same page before we run. If you are joining, please just invite one or two people to be part of this. I'm trying to let me do that on my own end. Let me tell them we are live. You can do it to invite one or two people to join us that we are live. So by the grace of God, we are looking at how this can become weekly by the grace of God. So, and as times goes on, I think we'll start giving gifts to the first person who joins live. Who knows? We are live. Just give me 10 seconds more to announce that we are live. So last week, the conversation about why creatives don't grow. Why creatives don't grow. And today, we'll go deeper with that conversation. Today is part 2. So my plan is that these live sessions should not normally go beyond 30 minutes. Right? So today we are doing part 2 of the discussion we started last week. And today, this evening, we are going deeper than what we discussed last week. Reasons why creatives don't grow, part 2. And one of the things we established that last Thursday is that sometimes it's not just a skill matter. Sometimes it's not just about skills. You can be very skillful and the growth is not coming for you the way you wish. And I said, so that we don't also misinterpret what I'm trying to say. I said it last week that growth is relative, right? Everybody have their own definition. The same way success is relative, growth can be relative. But for me, I define growth for creatives as a creative person. Growth for you should be that you are better than the way you used to be. That should be growth for you. You have a creative business, you are a creative person. How you measure your growth should be how you are now doing better than you used to be. The things you couldn't do before, you are now doing them. So for me, that's how I measure growth. And generally as creatives, I think that's how we should measure our growth. unhealthy way to measure your growth is comparing yourself with other people. Yes, so the best way to measure our growth is with ourselves. We measure the growth with ourselves, how far we have grown from how it used to be. So, why creatives don't grow, part 2. I'm just trying to confirm our audio again so that, yeah, these are internal issues. I'm going to share 3 points tonight on this part 2 of this discussion, why creatives don't grow. And some of these things I'll be sharing are not just theory. These are things I myself have faced. These are some of the things I myself have struggled with. So I may be sharing some personal experiences of some of these things that I have gone through, and how we can learn from it generally as creatives. I didn't introduce myself. If you are joining this live session for the first time, or you are on this YouTube channel for the first time, my name is Ajala Isaac, winning filmmaker. I am the founder of AIA Films. You are welcome to this session tonight. It's called Beyond Camera, and what we plan to do with this series every week by the grace of God is to address some things that are beyond camera. Yes, that as literally as that. So the first point I'll be sharing tonight on why creatives don't grow. The number one is fear of being seen. Fear of being seen. That's fear of visibility. You are afraid of being seen. That fear has kept a lot of us in a cage. It has kept us limited. We are afraid to be seen. So number one point, fear of being seen. That's the spotlight paradox. Spotlight paradox. There are many creatives that are so talented but are afraid to be seen. Afraid. Fear of visibility. And you know, for some people, for some of us, the kind of environment that we grew up in also affects this. It also affects us. We say humility. I don't want to brag. I don't want to. That's wrong. That's wrong. The Holy Book says that uh, you are the light of the world, a city set upon a hill that cannot be hidden. It says that you cannot light a lamp and put it under a bushel. We glorify God when we shine. We glorify God. We glorify our Creator when we shine. So the fear of being seen is the number one point. The first thing I want to share tonight on why we don't grow. There are people that are less skillful than you are, but are more visible. In fact, in the creative industry now, the visible ones are the ones winning. Visibility. In this era of social media, visibility is winning. Visibility is winning. You know. So you have people who are not competent as you are, but are visible. And what visibility does is, when people are thinking of that thing, maybe you sell products. You sell products. When people are thinking of where can I get this particular item, it's the person that is visible they will remember. No matter how good you are, if you are not visible, you won't come to their mind. And this era of social media has even made visibility easier. We just need to learn how to use it well and make ourselves, our business, our gifts visible. There are sponsored ads. There's nothing wrong in running sponsored ads, learning how it works, and sponsor your post, sponsor what you are selling, make yourself visible. Do anything that make you visible as long as it's legal. To fear of being seen. A lot of creatives are hiding. A lot of us are hiding. I don't want to, I just humble. That's fear of being seen. Stop hiding as a creative. Stop hiding. I understand that there is a time of uh, obscurity. There may be a time of obscurity in your life, a time where you need to build in silence. There may be a time you need to build in silence, but you cannot build in silence forever. A time must come where you have to be visible. The world needs to know what you are doing. And part of why you need to be seen is because there are people depending on that solution that you have. Your gift is a solution. So imagine that, imagine, have this imagination in your mind. It's going to help you to be visible. Imagine that there are lives depending on what you do. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. My alarm was ringing and interrupting. I had to put it off. So imagine that there are lives that are attached to your destiny. And if they are not blessed by your gifts, those destinies will be wasted. And I want to believe that that's how it is. So if you keep hiding and you're not visible, a lot of people will not be blessed by what you carry. The business, the vision that you carry inside of you, you keep hiding it, a lot of people are not blessed by it. What will happen to those destinies that are attached to you? So don't be afraid of visibility. And sometimes why we are afraid of being seen is because we are afraid of judgment. You don't want to be judged. You don't want people to misjudge you. And this thing is, if you are afraid of judgment, you are not ready for greatness. That's just the truth. You are not ready for greatness. People will misjudge you. Go and check history. There is nobody that has done anything spectacular that is not judged. Nobody. You will be judged. So allow people to judge as long as you find fulfillment in what you do. Don't be afraid of judgment. And we are afraid of not being seen sometimes because we feel like we are not good enough. Who told you you are not good enough? Again, all these things, part of what promotes all this fear is our upbringing. Our upbringing. Some of us grew up in environments where they told you not to shine your lights because it would be unfair to other people. So we shrink ourselves. I remember something happened to me some years ago. I was in Lagos State I went for a master class, and then we're divided into groups to pitch a film. We're divided into groups to pitch a film. My group were four of us were to pitch our stories, and after we pitched, we were told to execute the project. My group won, by the way, and then we were told there's a cash prize for any group. It's just during the master class exercise to help us understand what we're doing better. And everybody were bringing their ideas. In that group, I felt like the smallest, right? Because out, out of the four of us in the group, I felt like, not even felt, is the reality. These other guys are way, way ahead of me in filmmaking, in the industry. They have a lot of credits. As of then, they had a lot of credits. Some of these guys have credits on streaming platforms already. They have done numbers that I've never done before. So I felt small, and we were now bringing ideas together. We're bringing ideas together. Meanwhile, technically, I was going to do more of the works because we were told to present it as a finished video. So technically, I had more knowledge than them. I could shoot, I could edit, right? So we're bringing ideas together, and I had a contrary opinion from what one of them have said. One of them said in the plan. I had a contrary opinion. I wanted to talk, and I was like, okay, don't worry, let us go on with it. And that lady insisted. The lady insisted. She's somebody that if I mention her name, a lot of people will know her. She insisted that, no, say what you want to say. We are a team here. Why do you think what you want to say will not help us? And I said it. As soon as I said it, everybody's, they were not thinking in that direction before. As I said it, that's the plan we later agreed on. And it made the work easier for us. And we won. You know? But then, why didn't I speak up? Because of the fear of my idea, or taking over somebody else's idea. The fear of shining. I wanted to just shrink myself. So this fear will cost you a lot. It will cost you a lot as a creative. It will cost you a lot. God will help us. And sometimes we don't want to look vulnerable. It's part of why we're afraid of being seen. You don't want to look vulnerable. And this audience, these people you are caring about, they don't even give a damn about you. They are busy with their own lives. You say, if I post this one now, shey these people will not say this. Shey these people will not say I have backslided. Shey these people will not say I have spoiled. If I post something like this, shey they will not say I am amateur. Shey they will not say I'm not a professional. Shey they will not say there's a mistake. These people don't give a damn. They will judge you today, tomorrow they move on to another person. So by all means, don't be afraid to be seen. Don't be afraid to be visible. You can't remain in obscurity forever. You cannot. Stop caring about what people think. Stop caring. Except if they are the one feeding you. And even if they are the one feeding you safe, you alone know what God has called you to do. You alone know the burning desire in your heart. You know what you want to do to stand out. Go for it. Don't be afraid to be seen. Be visible. The one that is visible will always get more favor than the one that is hidden. Because when people are thinking in their mind, who should I give this opportunity? It's the visible person. And they will think is not bias. It's human bias actually. Because even you, think about it. How many times you've thought of doing something? Who comes to your mind first? Even if it's favor that you want to do to somebody, you think of the person that is visible first. before the person that is hidden. So I want to challenge you before I move to the second point. I want to challenge you. What project do you have in your draft that you have refused to share because you are afraid? What do you have? What is that thing that you have already done, or you have done it halfway and you are afraid to post? You are afraid of being seen. I dare you tonight, finish it up and post it. You will not die. It's small, you will get used to it. That's my challenge to you tonight. That thing you have lying down in your draft, you know that this thing is unique. You know that if I put that content out, let people say whatever they want to say, as long as you will growth. As long as you know that you are growing, they will forget you do rubbish yesterday. In fact, it's those rubbish, as you are doing those in quotes rubbish, you are learning. So I challenge you, put out that work. Don't be afraid to be seen. Second point is perfectionism. You see, creatives, most times, because we are creatives, we always want to be perfect, and it can be a trap. Perfectionism, in brackets, procrastination in a fancy suit. Perfectionism, in brackets, it is procrastination in a fancy suit. Sometimes, or most times. Perfectionism. I like to be perfect. I like things to be perfect. But in my journey, I have learned that perfectionism is another way of procrastination, another way to procrastinate. It's better to put out a work that is 80%, like your rate of perfectionism is always to 80%, to always put it out, than because you are waiting for it to be 100%, you are not doing anything at all. Perfectionism is another reason why creatives don't grow. You are waiting until it is ready, until it reaches a particular standard, a high standard, global standard. It may affect your growth. Overthinking every detail. You think. You look at the thing again, you say, it means small. You go back again, you work up. It's not bad. It's not bad to want to be perfect. But imagine that you have a client. Let me go into business a little bit. Imagine that you have a client whom you have, what example can I use now? Okay, a client that has a wedding, right? And you are a tailor. Let's use that example. You are a tailor, and the person's wedding is in the next 2 weeks. Oh no, okay, let me not even use 2 weeks. The person came on time, gave you the clothes, and it's already a day to the wedding, and the clothes is not done. How would that person feel? The person now come to you that my wedding is tomorrow. You say, don't worry, tomorrow. You will get it early in the morning. And they now ask you, what is delaying these clothes? And mind you, this is already like 11 p.m. Though I have a true life story. This thing I'm explaining, there's a true life story that is similar to it, but I'm giving just an example. It's 11 p.m., a day to the wedding. And they are now telling you that by 7 a.m., this suit is supposed to be on the groom already. And you say, you see, why it's taking long is because I want you to be perfect. I want you to be Italian. I want you to be 100% which do you think the groom will prefer at that point? To wait for you to tell him that don't worry, it will be ready by 9 a.m. tomorrow, 100%, or 80% ready. It's just that he did not read the 100%, but if he wear it is a suit. Which one will he prefer? If I'm the groom, I would prefer just give me the suit at 80%, as long as everything is intact. You just want to perfect it to look Italian. That's why it will reach tomorrow. Give me tonight at 80%. Because the client doesn't really care. You want to 100. So it's better to put out your work, or to put out what you do at 80% perfection. 80% self is too much. 70% perfection, and you are always doing, and you are growing, than waiting till something is 100% before you put it out. Thereby delaying your publishing. Perfectionism. And you know, sometimes perfectionism is a defense mechanism. It's not really because you want to be perfect. You are just looking for another excuse not to do something, and then you keep working on it, trying to make it perfect. One day I sat down and I look at my my drafts, my files, and I began to see project I had done, and I didn't finish editing. Why? In fact, there's a video I have. The defect in it is tiny, like something that is only filmmakers that can notice it. But I refuse to post it. I say it has to be perfect. Trying to work on it to be perfect. Eventually, till I lost the files, and it's paining me. So perfectionism can be another way to escape from doing the main work. I want to use the pottery class analogy. There's a pottery class analogy, and which says quantity over quality. Quantity over quality. Now, this quantity over quality, I want you to keep it in the context of perfectionism. This second point, keep it in that context. Don't take it out of that context, because if you take it out of that context, it may mean different things to everybody. There are people that will tell you quality over quantity, right? So it depends on the context. But for this one, in the context of perfectionism, quantity over quality. So the pottery class analogy is a potter who has students, and then he gave 2 sets assignments, 2 groups. One group to do 50 pots every day, another group to do only 1. After that test or experiment, they found out that the group that are doing 50 pots are growing better than the one that are doing 1. Because 50, they have quantity. They make mistakes from this one, they correct it in the other one. They make mistake, it keeps getting better. Than someone who just focuses on 1. He will be afraid to make mistakes because that one just has to be perfect. So quantity over quality. So that's why I said it's better if you be able to put out more quantity at 80% perfection, is better than waiting to be 100% without putting out anything at all. So let's say if in a month if in a month the kind of work that you do, or the kind of creative ability that you have, if in a month you have planned that you will put out 6 contents, 6 contents, but because they are not up to 100% perfection, you didn't put out anything at all. Before you know, months are going by, years are going by, you just keep having New Year resolution every time. So in this context of perfectionism, choose quantity over quality. And I have found out that I think I make an analogy like this last week. You have 2 people. In fact, they may not start at the same level. You have somebody who has started this thing for like 3 years, and you have a new guy that just came into the game to learn that same thing. But the one that has started 3 years ago does not really practice. Maybe once in a year, he just do something. But this guy that just came in newly, every day is doing something. Every day is doing something. Sharing it with mentors, sharing it with people. Let me check this thing, let me do that one. That person will grow faster than the person that has been doing it for 3 years. And that's just the truth. Because of that quantity, that volume that the person is doing, that person is doing, will make the person grow faster than the person that is waiting for everything to be perfect. And you know, sometimes while we are waiting for perfection too, is fear of criticism. You are fear to be criticized. And take it or leave it, if you are creative, criticism is a must. Criticism is a must if you are a creative person. People will criticize you. You must be settled with that. I told you guys last week how I did a short film, and it was from the criticism that somebody made that made me realize that there was something I was getting wrong. I had to go to YouTube to learn it. In fact, as a creative, you should have a set of people that you send your work to criticize it. I mean now, constructive criticism. Constructive criticism. When I started writing scripts, I have people I used to send it to. I have friends that I know will be brutal with me, not the ones that will lie and say, yeah, more grace, be fine. Guys that can be brutal with, I know they love me and they know why I'm sending it to them. In fact, if their words are too nice, they know I will not send it to them again. They will tell me, oh, you tried. I'm talking of, sometimes it can be scripts of 40 pages. And they will tell me, yeah, you tried, it's okay. But, is that but I want to hear? This character, do this thing. This one is not. So you must have people that you must learn how to embrace criticism. So you must have people in your circle that can criticize your work. Then there is now destructive criticism. So because I say you embrace criticism does not mean that is anybody that just criticize you that you start to think about, or there are people that they don't have work. They are just out there to say stupid things. So you have to grow a thick skin. You grow a thick skin. There are people that will say rubbish, you move on. In fact, let me use film as an example. There is no film that has been made that there is no negative comment about it. Go online, any film that you have watched, any popular film, type negative or criticism about this movie. People must always have criticism. And let me tell you why people will criticize your work negatively sometimes. Sometimes it's because what they are supposed to be doing is what they are criticizing you for. So you can write a content, maybe a film now, for example. Somebody does a film for entertainment. The person's plan is just to make a film for people to laugh, a comedy film, and then you see people say, this person no dey even learn any lesson. Now only laugh, laugh, laugh. That may be because it is maybe your own calling to make film for people to learn. So my point is that don't be afraid of criticism. As a creative, criticism is good. We have constructive criticism, and we have some critics that they are just out there to destroy people's emotion. So you don't just embrace every criticism. So I go to the last one. So first, fear of being seen. Secondly, perfectionism. Procrastination, wearing a fancy suit. Then thirdly, which is going to be my last point for tonight, is lack of identity. Lack of identity. In brackets, I call it the chameleon effect. I call it the chameleon effect. Lack of identity. A man without identity is a chameleon. We know chameleon change colors. You will keep adapting to different things. If you don't have identity as a creative, you will find out that you jump on trends more. You just keep jumping on trends. Meanwhile, jumping on trends are not bad. It's good, especially in this age of social media. There are trends you can jump on that can help your content. But then the kind of trend you jump on is also even determined by your identity. It's determined by your identity. If you know who you are and why you do what you do, it's not every trend that you can jump on. Your values, if you know your values. There are people that their values will not permit them to jump on trends of people shaking bum bum. Meanwhile, there are people that their own values permit that. That's their own identity. But for you, you know your identity. You know that your brand, you don't want your brand to be recognized with things like that. You won't do it. Identity gives you clarity. It makes you to know what to say no to. If you know your identity, there are opportunities that might even come and you will say no to. They can look good, but you can say no to them because it doesn't align with your values. So lack of identity is the third reason I'm sharing tonight why creatives don't grow. If you lack identity, you will want to be like everyone else. So today you hear that this one dey rain, you do it. Tomorrow this one dey rain. So you find out that there won't be consistency. Last week we talked about lack of consistency. So there's no consistency in your person. There's no consistency in your identity because you are taking the image of different people. Identity. It won't give you a clear direction of expression. As a creative person, you want to express yourself through what you carry, but because you lack an identity, you don't have a clear direction. And a lack of identity affects your structure. And as a creative person, one of the things that can help you to scale is structure. Structure. There's an exercise I did a while ago that blessed me. It shifted my mind. I sat down and I realized, I just sat down with myself and I thought and thought. I was just thinking, and I realized that everything I am doing, as long as creativity is concerned, because for me, creativity is a business, is a ministry, is a calling, is purpose for me, but sometimes we can get caught in, you are still doing the main thing, but you are doing many things and there's no structure. So it can be weary, it can make it look like you are doing so much without results. So I sat down and I was able to come up with this from my identity. And I realized that I have 3 businesses. That thing, it gave me structure and blessed me. I have 3 businesses. But first of all, I was able to come up with that category, like the difference. When I say 3 businesses, like the expressions of me, the expressions of my creativity. There are 3 businesses. So, but I was able to come up with that because of identity. So, number 1, I have a service business. Number 2, I have an education business. And number 3, I have a creative IP business. I will explain. Number 1, that is service business. It is I have a company. I'm the founder of AIA Films. So service business, where we a service base for clients. That is my cash flow. That company is my cash flow. Video production, we make commercials, events, videography, video production for clients. That is purely business. Service business, cash flow. Secondly is education business. I train people. I have trained hundreds of creatives. I've trained people physically and online, free and paid. I've traveled out of Nigeria to go and train people. Online, I have trained people in Nigeria, outside Nigeria. I've trained people from UK. I've trained people from France. I've trained people from Pakistan. So that's education business. And then thirdly, I have a creative IP business, which is my films, my stage plays, my scripts, the books I am writing. Those are my creative IP. I'm building legacy with those ones. Impact, legacy. You see, this simple thing, as simple as it is that I just listed, it gave me clarity. It now helped me to structure myself. Say, okay, if I try to do all these 3 together, I will feel overwhelmed. I'll become weary. I now delegate days, so day to so day, purely client work that I'm doing. Then this day, because that's the cash flow. Then this day is for education business, just to educate, trainings. Then this day is focused on my creative IP. That structure has helped me, and it has helped in the way I now delegate. I now know what to focus on and what to delegate, and thereby more productivity for me. But then all of this, I wouldn't have been able to come up with all of this if I don't know my identity. Identity, very important. So your identity is a structural issue. When you lack identity, that means there's no foundation. And if the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? When you have an identity, you already have a foundation that you build on. And without an identity, a negative feedback can make you give up. You will just give up on what you are doing. You will give up on your dreams. One time, I was working with someone that is so impatient. I worked with him for a while, though I didn't work with him as a staff, more like a contract between me and him. Very impatient, and he gets angry easily. But he's a sweet person when you move close to him. He's a sweet person. But as long as the work is concerned, he gets angry easily and he's impatient. But he's a sweet person. And he's very good at what he does. So, there is this guy who came to learn from him. And because of how his boss talked to him, I was there. Because of how he was talked to, he gave up. He gave up on learning that skill, and he went to start doing something entirely different. So it made me to now sit down to wonder that if I'm in his position and I truly know why I wanted to learn this thing, highest thing that will have happened is to go somewhere else to learn the same thing, but not giving up totally on that dream. So it may mean that two things. Maybe he wasn't sure in the first place, it was just out of vibe, or he lacks an identity. Your identity is who you are and why you do what you do. And then identity is different from styles. That's another thing. A lot of people mistake identity with style. You can copy style, but you cannot really copy identity. Style, you can, maybe when we see your work, there are some certain things we see with your work that make us know that this is your work. That is a style. I read a book some time ago by Austin Kleon. He has two books that are similar, so I'm trying to remember which one. He has a book, Still Like an Artist, and 10 Ways to Show Your Work. I think he's still like an artist, like literally still, but like an artist. And he made an analogy. But one of the ways to grow as a creative is you study people in your industry. It's like a tree. You study people. So I can have 3 people I study. Study their work rigorously. You pick from this guy, you pick from this guy, you pick from this guy, and then you now create your own out of that knowledge. But by the time you are creating your own, it will not look exactly like them, because what you did is to pick a piece from Mr. A, pick a piece from Mr. B, pick a piece from Mr. C, bringing it together and now adding your own touch. But then, so there's nothing wrong in that. But then what you are copying is a style, not the identity. Your identity is what you sit down with yourself to decide or to discover. So you can copy style, but you cannot copy identity. Lack of identity is a quiet killer. It's a quiet killer. Lack of identity is a quiet killer. So let me be sure I've talked about everything. So those are the 3 points for tonight that I want to share with us. So most times what we need is not more tools, but what we are doing currently with what we have, how faithful you are with what you have. And I end with this story, a popular parable, the parable of the 10 talents. The parable of the talents, right? Our Lord Jesus narrated the story. He gave one 5 talents, gave another one, is it 2 now or 3? And gave the third one 1. The one that was giving 5 multiplied his own. The second one multiplied his own. The person that was giving 1 went to bury his own. And that's what we do with our gifts most times. We bury them. And sometimes these are all the factors that affect us burying our gifts. When the master came back, what did he say? He praised the ones that multiplied their own, and the person that went to bury his own was cast away. So sometimes we think we need more tools or we need more leverage, which is true. Most times some people have more advantage than us because they have more leverage, they have more money, they have more tools, they have more gadgets, they have more opportunities, they have more motivation. But the question you need to ask yourself tonight is, what am I doing with the little I have? If you are not faithful in small, you cannot be trusted with something bigger. How faithful are you with the small? Do you know that guy with the 1 talent has more advantage than the ones? That's from my own point of view now. The one that has 1 talent even has more privilege than the ones that were given more, because he has only 1 to focus on. He has more time. It's not like others that have to focus on more. So let's stop looking outside. Let's look within ourselves. What's that little that we have that can be multiplied? The little we have that can be multiplied, let us put it into use and then see it being multiplied. Other stories are coming to my head. Another story that blessed me so much is the woman and the prophets told her, go and borrow vessels. She had only small oil. She underrated that small oil. That is only small oil that I have. And that's how most of us underrate what we have. Say, ordinary. You know, when you have ability to do something, you tend to underrate it. Say, I can write. Is it not just to write? Is it not just to design? Is it not just to paint this thing? You yourself, you despise your gifts. You despise what you carry. So the woman was like, is it not shukunu oil that I have? The prophet said, go and borrow vessels. And that thing multiplied. So we will not grow by hiding the little that we have. Our growth will come from putting the little that we have into use. That's where our growth will come from. So, until we confront all of this, our growth will be inconsistent. So I want to challenge us tonight to make the decision to grow. And when you make that decision, you let go of perfectionism, which is procrastinating. You let go. So that will be all for tonight. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comments. And after this live session, please, you can share this link with people. Share on your status. That's what I'm requesting from you. Like this video, take the discussion further. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week.